Good day to everyone. Welcome to round 3 of the Performance Racing League Tier 2 season here at Spain. Following the Premier and Tier 1 races that have run earlier today, looking for an exciting race. Here, currently cars just now getting on track. About 15 minutes left in qualifying or so, and everyone out on their outlaps. No one has yet set a time. Expecting to see and Rusty Olcan, the current points leader in the championship at a 117.776, will set the benchmark for provisional pole. Cheeseheads coming across there in P2 with a 117.8. So far, everybody out on the soft tires. Nobody looking to try the medium run. Markey comes across with a 116.6 to take P2 as Archie came across in the Alpha and a 116.5 to go on to provisional pole. Tar Heels, a new reserve joining us today, is a 119.2, goes into P5. In the Williams, and Mr. Hex will go into P3. Let's see here, looks like a Mercedes come across. That's Luke Robertson with a 117.4, and the McLaren of Roman numerals. That had to have been an aborted lap at 2:30. See Rusty coming into the pits. Who's coming around here. Superman in the Alpine. It's on an out lap. I think we currently don't have anybody on a hot lap. Superman, Nico, Raleigh, and Ghetto Biggie all on their out laps. We will pick them up as they come around. The Shep, Space Cowboy there on an out lap. Raleigh here in the AlphaTauri, expected to be a pole contender today. On board here for a lap at Spain. Such a critical section there, turn 1, 2, and then up the hill. So I've seen a lot of spins there in turn 2 today. 2 transitioning into 3. Got to get this turn right, get on the throttle early, get the car rotated around much speed as you can for the slow left-hander. And then it's the entry here as turning left, headed up the hill, and then the hard right-hander. This can make or break your race. And a lap there, turn 1, and then that in turn 9 there can make a lap here in qualifying. Then into the slow technical sector 3. There's the left right there, another spot prone to cause spins. See a little bit of curb and oversteer there. Curbs so treacherous at this track this weekend. A little late on the throttle there, a little bit loose. And then 117.356 will be a P5 for the first lap. The Space Cowboy showing an out lap. Not sure there. This I thought would be a flying lap. Superman as invalidated. Ghetto Biggie coming out for a second lap. Is a 116.3. Goes on to provisional pole in the Aston Martin. And Nico John there, P5. This is Space Cowboy, so that is a .120.162. I'm not sure why I thought that. It looks like it registered a second out lap there. But so Baba Yaga, Superman, E-Waiter, TSD, and Sparkplug have yet to set a lap. As E-Waiter goes 1:16.1 to take provisional pole. Ghetto Biggie currently P2 with a 1:16.3. Archie 1:16.5 in P3. And Space Cowboy showing retired from the session. See if we can see the car there. They just took it off track. He's in the left-hander headed up the hill there. I believe that's a very treacherous spot of the track as well. So easy to get on the throttle too early and spin. We'll try to get an update there. So Baba Yaga, TSD, Sparkplug have yet to set a lap. E-Waiter, I believe that'll be on an in lap there. And down here, Rusty in P9, said earlier, is the current points leader. Now showing car and Alpine's off there. Not sure which car that was. It stopped again up on the left. That is Superman, who's over in the gravel. And similar to T1, in the Tier 1 race, we saw a driver get disqualified for the wrong way. Same thing has happened to Superman here, who was off track waiting on cars to go by and then trying to get turned around properly to get back on the track. Unfortunately, has been disqualified by the game. So 6.5, we're right at 7 minutes to go here in qualifying. Seeing a lot of drivers coming out now for their second run. May be the last run for some of the cars. Cheesehead's coming around and does not improve on that lap. Tweeter Trolley, who's shown some excellent pace this season. AlphaTauri currently leading the Constructors' Championship after 2 races. Keep an eye on those battles as the season progresses. Looking back at Raleigh here, drops into the pits, invalidated the lap, won the race back at Bahrain in the season opener. AlphaTauri off track there. Roman in the first McLaren, currently sitting in P11 with a 1:18.6. Out on the second lap, looking at the top, we still have E-Waiter with a 1:16.1, Markey 1:16.2, and Ghetto Biggie with a 1:16.3. is your top three drivers, Mr. Hex and Archie, 16.4 and 16.5 respectively. Currently looking at the top six drivers, all about a tenth apart from each other. As Roman comes around across the line and does not improve on that lap. Stays P11 there. Vapor, teammate in the second McLaren, goes to P10 with a 117.3, so improves by a couple of spots, pushing Roman down to P12. And looks like Vapor there out into the gravel. May have been getting off the line there, realizing a car was on a hot lap behind. And gets the car with, once sliding off like that, tires get hot, hard to get the car back under control. But Vapor's moving again and will be able to limp the car back to the pits. Looks like the other McLaren Roman may have had an incident as well. So Baba Yaga, TSD, and Sparkplug still opting to not set a lap. See Sparkplug now coming out with 3 minutes 30 seconds. Has plenty of time to get out and get a lap in. Moving offline there. We go on board with Tar Heels here. Currently sitting in P13. Nice lap, up by a 10th in Sector 1. And now up 3/10 through Sector 2. So putting a nice lap together here. Keeping an eye out at the front of the pack, Ghetto Biggie, Mr. Hex, both now on their out laps. Waiting to see if E-Waiter or Markey, either one, decide to make another run. And Tar Heels improves the time to a 1:18.1, but stays in P13. As we see now, Sparkplug starting his lap here, a P12 in Bahrain. Finishing position not really reflective of the pace. As keep an eye on his time there as we go on board with Ghetto Biggie, who's currently in P3, trying to make a run at pole here, currently sitting about 2/10 off pole. E-Waiter is going to make another run, is now on an out lap, minute and a half to get around, so plenty of time. Ghetto Biggie down just a little bit in Sector 1. A couple of hundredths down, not too much. Run down still now about 600ths down on the last lap. Cheeseheads has retired from the session. Looks like that is, yeah, that's on pit road. He's calling good with the time and just going to keep it. As Ghetto Biggie coming around. Improves by 2/10 in Sector 3. Nice lap of 116.0 to go into P1. And E-Waiter has invalidated the lap, so will not be able to improve. See, currently showing yellows, 10 seconds left. don't know if he'll be able to get back. No, he's in sector 3. Okay, yeah, will not be able to get back to the line. So E-Waiter will be done there in P2. Markey does not improve, stays P3. Mr. Hex will be P4. Mercedes in the pit. Spark plug. It goes to P8 with a 117.1 in the Aston Martin. Baba Yaga invalidated the lap, does not set a time. We have an AlphaTauri off. I believe that's Raleigh in the barrier. Does have the car going though. Trying to stay out of the way of traffic and keep moving. Keep from getting a disqualification. That would move him to the back of the grid. Currently sitting in P16, invalid lap. Was not able to set a time in the session either. So got a Biggie coming into the pits. Archie now coming around. I love the overhead shot. Such a great view. And Archie does not improve, stays at a 16. Looks like had to have backed out, was about 5 seconds off pace there. Spark plug coming around, so that will set our grid. So looking at our championship standings, Rusty in P1 will be starting P9, going against Raleigh in the AlphaTauri, who will be starting P16. Ghetto Biggie in third in the standings. Definitely has the advantage here going into the race, sitting in P1. And then Baba Yaga, who's fourth, starting P15, was not able to set a time. And Nico John in fifth in the standings, winning the race in China last weekend, will be starting P6. So this will be the starting grid, really close up here at the front. Ghetto Biggie on pole, E-Waiter with P2 in the Mercedes. Marky Kostick and Mr. Hex will be on row 2, 3rd and 4th. Archie Gill and Nico John, P5 and P6. Luke Robertson and Sparkplug, 7th and 8th. Rusty Olcan and Cheeseheads on row 5, 9th and 10th. Vapor and Roman numerals, P11 and P12. And the McLarens on row 6. Row 7 will be Tar Heels and Space Cowboy Williams and Alpine. And then Baba Yaga, Raleigh, TSD, and Superman rounding out the grid. Superman starting at the back due to the unfortunate disqualification. Okay, so we're going to take a break here for a minute or two. Drivers will take some time to set their strategy, and then we will get going on the formation lap. We will be back with you shortly. Hey, welcome back here as we see the cars pulling away on the formation lap. All the drivers having set their race strategy and fuel load for the race. And we'll get to wait and see. Looking so I believe everybody qualified. Top 10 will all be on soft tires. We'll see what the guy at the back, though, looking P11 to P18. Every car outside the top 10 opting to start on the medium tires. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to one stop, who's going to two stop. A lot of strategies available here at Spain. Soft to medium, medium to soft is really tough to do unless you get a lot of safety cars. I mean, it's possible you get enough safety cars and that's workable. Usually you'll see a soft medium medium or a soft medium soft here. Here, the soft to hard also an option, though the hard tires tend to be really hard to run here at Spain. A lot of drivers will tend to avoid them just to avoid spinning. But looking back at the back, the car starting on medium, we may see a lot of those cars try the medium to hard strategy to try to get the track position they need to improve position there. So looking at the grid, Ghetto Biggie will be our pole sitter here as all the cars coming around now to take up their grid slots. Ghetto Biggie in the Aston Martin. Alongside will be E-Waiter in the Mercedes, who may arguably be in the better spot for the run down to turn one. Markey and Mr. Hex, the Ferrari, and the Red Bull there. Then Archie and Nico John, row 3, Luke Robertson and Sparkplug. Looking back, Rusty, Cheeseheads, Vapor, Roman, Tar Heels, Space Cowboy, Baba Yaga, Raleigh, TSD, and Superman round out the grid. Here as we wait for the lights. Now the grid is set. Here come the lights. And we are off here and headed for turn one. Good getaway by Ghetto Biggie. Markey into Ferrari, though, a great start. Gets alongside E-Waiter going into turn one. A little bit of contact, but they make it through. Oh, Markey runs wide and comes across. Oh, and a big crash back in turn 3. A lot of cars involved, and the safety car is out. It looks like we lost the McLaren of Vapor. Looking back through, it looks like Baba Yaga may have gotten through clean. TSD got through. Space Cowboy, a little bit of damage on the front left wing there. Will come in. Luke Robertson in the Mercedes. Rusty has lost the wing completely, and E-Waiter was also collected. Not sure if there's any damage. Does not appear to be any damage on the front wing. Not sure about the side pods. Yeah, Markey in the Ferrari looked like went a little bit wide and lost the car. And came back across. The worst case scenario is to have the leader, have one of the 3 or 4 lead cars spin early in the race. We saw it in Tier 1 last week at China, and the turn 7, 8, 9 complex. Very similar result where it collects 7 or 8 cars. But it looks like most everybody made it through. We lost one of the McLarens in Vapor. As we will now see a lot of the cars, Markey, Roman numerals, Space Cowboy, Rusty, all dropping into the pits here. Have to ignore timing and scoring currently. That's not right. Ghetto Biggie is the leader. Picked up there behind the safety car. So we'll wait and see. Let timing and scoring straighten out here. So Looks like all the cars that pitted opted to go into the medium tires here early. So a couple of possibilities there. 15 or so laps is doable on the medium tires. So we could see a medium run for those that have another set of new mediums available to them. Drivers that are a little rougher on their tires may be forced into the medium hard strategy there, as we see Roman numerals on, losing it on cold tires there. Tier 1 had a driver retire from the race due to a similar incident as he lets through Rusty Space Cowboy. E-Waiter showing a penalty, I believe, may have picked up a 5-second penalty there. Not sure if it was speeding in the pits or if there was a penalty involved with the contact. I believe Markey picked up a penalty on Rusty picking up a penalty there for ignoring yellow flags. Not sure what that's about back in Sector 3. Didn't see it. As I don't believe Space Cowboy back in the pit, so something may have happened there. Rusty may have passed Space Cowboy too early. Looks like Missy Space Cowboy gonna need another wing, so we'll probably find out what happened there after the race. And Nico John onto the medium tires. Also not sure what brought him into the pits late as well. So far we've seen Markey, Rusty, Roma, Nico, and Space Cowboy all stop. Don't believe Nico was caught up in the original incident. And of course we lost the McLaren there in a turn 2, turn 3 incident at the start of the race. Yeah, timing and scoring is currently all messed up. We'll have to wait on that to straighten out. So, Ghetto Biggie, though, from pole was able to get away and get ahead of the cars battling behind. And maintains position. Mr. Hex moved up into P2, Archie in 3, Cheeseheads in 4 in the Haas. And then Sparkplug, P5, Raleigh in P6. Tar Heels in P7, Superman in 8th, Baba Yaga and TSD wrapping out. The top 10 there, we see the big winner so far in this race. Cheesehead up 6 spots, Raleigh's up 10 spots, Superman's up 10. Tar Heels, Baba Yaga, TSD 6 and 7 spots each. And then the cars at the front with the drop being caught up in the incident. Robertson dropped 4 spots there. E-Waiter and Markey both dropping 10. 5 and 3 for Rusty there. And then Nico 9, Cowboy 2, Roman numerals losing 5 spots there in lap 1, turns 1, 2, and 3. For those that may have missed the start, it looked, we'll go back and take a look at it after the race, obviously, but it looked like Markey ran just a little bit wide coming out of turn 2 into the gravel and then spun back across the pack in front of the cars. Okay, so safety cars in this lap, so we will be going racing this time. So you get a Biggie slow down here. Start backing the pack up, let the safety car get away a little bit. Everybody's still trying to get heat back into the tires. Cold tires in turn 1, 2, and 3 can be rough. And Ghetto Biggie is away. Gets a pretty good jump there, about 6/10 out in front of Mr. Hex. Making the jump. As you see, Sparkplug and Raleigh, see some movement there back at the back. Yellow flag out in Sector 1. And TSD, and I believe that was Nico John in the Williams that went around. Here, coming out of turn 2 again, looks like a couple of cars have tied up. TSD out of the race. Nico John is able to get the car going again, but has no front wing, so will be forced to stop here again. And it looks like it's going to be a local yellow, and we will stay green. So back at the front of the pack, Ghetto Biggie in P1, Mr. Hex 8/10 back in P2. A little bit of a gap building now, a couple of seconds back to Cheeseheads, then Raleigh and Archie in P4 and P5. So Raleigh, not really sure what happened in qualifying. He thought he had set a valid time, but there was no time registered, so not sure if the lap was invalid or if it was some glitch. It started P16. So looking at a great recovery race so far, P16 to P4. And on those medium tires, so we'll be able to go. And E. Wader making a stop here has picked up another 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. And Markey has picked up a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Superman back at the back. Oh, and has spun the car. So we see both E. Wader and Nico John in the pits. It can be so hard to get the car back up under you once you spin once. Get so much heat in the rear tires until you can get back out on a straight and get running and get the tires cooled down. It's hard to keep the car up under you there for a little bit. As we see, Archie spins it around there, coming out of 9, and yeah, looks like unfortunately Markey looks like has lost it. Not really the race looking for there. Archie, believe, may be in a similar situation with really hot tires. Doesn't look like there's any damage on the car. As we've got a yellow back, I believe, is that Luke Robertson? No, he's in the pits. So E. Wader has no front wing, appears to have retired on track here at lap 6. So yeah, looks like car go off. Car will pull off there and retires from the session. Don't expect we'll get a VSC out of that. Who's that? Let's see, trying to catch. We have a car around outside of turn 2. Believe that was Superman. Let's see, don't see any damage. So no, he has the Alpine going there and don't see any damage on the car. So we'll keep an eye back at the front. Ghetto Biggie certainly has pulled out an 8-second gap. So it's now about 6-second gap back to Cheeseheads. Mr. Hex making first pit stop of the race here on lap 8, soft to mediums. We'll see most of the soft tire runners now. Ones that remain on soft will be stopping around now to either go to the hards to the end or potentially mediums for a medium or medium soft strategy. Here, currently closest battle on track we're on board with. We have Tar Heels in P4, Rusty Oil Can in the Alpha there in P5, and Baba Yaga in P6. out here. All the cars pressing, still all in a line here. DRS open, but stays in line. Keep an eye on this battle here, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and about 5 seconds behind them, Roman numeral Sparkplug and Mr. Hex, who's out on those fresh tires, battling 7th, 8th, and 9th in a very similar situation right together. So Rusty and Baba Yaga both with DRS. Looks like battling each other, which is going to let Tar Heels maintain that gap as they go through turns 2 and 3 there. Like Markey had a little incident there coming on to the main straight, but gets the car going. We're going to go back on board with this battle here. This is still for P4, 5, and 6. Baba Yaga right on the gearbox of Rusty. Tar Heels so far able to maintain the gap. And we have a DNF up the hill and another safety car, full course safety car out. See if we can see what happened. Luke Robertson not sure. The car is off to the left, may have spun coming up the hill there. So now we'll see, as we're seeing quite a few spins here, kind of expected here. This track producer is so hard on tires. Tires stay hot, curbs are treacherous. We saw this in both of the races earlier today. It's going to be the drivers that can stay consistent can get a really good finish. So at the front, Ghetto Biggie with 9 laps on those sauce. We'll be happy to see this coming out, as now we'll be able to make the pit stop here on lap 10. 23 laps to go, so a long way to go. But we have seen cars be able to make it on mediums, make long runs on medium tires. So it really depends on how good the driver can conserve, and if we see more VSCs or safety cars in the race. But while this does give Ghetto Biggie a chance, Rusty Oil Can, unfortunately our points leader picking up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. So only a third of the way through the race. Still will have plenty of chance to recover it. There's 14 cars left, but is not allowed to serve that penalty under safety car. We'll have to wait until we're back under green flag racing to serve it. So coming off of a safety car period, that will move him to the back of the grid. So he'd just gone onto the hard tires, so we'll see what strategy he has to do here. See if he can use strategy to try to recover some of the positions there that lost. Baba Yaga opting to pit here. Going on to the mediums. Raleigh 10-lap-old mediums here. Superman has retired from the race. We'll see if they make it up here in time for us to see. He may have lost it coming around the turn and into the inside wall. Tires get so cold. Medium and hard tires especially, are so hard to warm up here when you get under a long safety car period. So not sure what happened there. That car is just sitting out in the middle. So looking at our grid here, as everyone's now made their pit stops into the safety car, Raleigh 10-lap-old medium tires stays out and takes over first place. Ghetto Biggie goes onto the hard tires, so we'll be able to make the end of the race from here if he has to. Obviously, may opt to if they can get on the soft tires late in the race. The opportunity is there. Can be really quick. Tar Heels in P3, Cheeseheads in 4, Roman numerals in P5, Mr. Hex and Space Cowboy 6th and 7th, Baba Yaga in 8th, Rusty Old Can in 9th with a pending drive-through penalty. Sparkplug and Nico John 10th and 11th, Marky in 12th, and Archie Gill back in P13. And currently Superman, Luke Robertson, E-Waiter, TSD, and Vapor have all retired from the session. See the cars coming around, watching back. Nico, Marky, and Archie are all back on the main straight now. Not sure that they'll catch the safety car queue here in time. It's going to be close. They may catch it in time for us to go back racing this lap. And now everybody back in queue. With the safety car already being in sector 2 though, not sure if it will go green or if we'll have one more lap. We'll find out here in just a moment. And safety car is in this lap. So Raleigh and Tar Heels P1, P3, 11 lap old mediums. Roman numerals back in P5 with 9 lap old mediums. And Space Cowboy in P7 with 10 lap olds. Tires, everybody else on relatively new tires. Yeah, Mr. Hex stopped 3 laps ago. Rusty 1 lap, Sparkplug with 2, Nico with 5. Cars that have been caught up in earlier incidents. So they'll be able to run longer here before having to stop again. We're on board here with Tar Heels in P3 for the restart. Raleigh, nice jump. About 6/10 out. Tar Heels 4/10 off of Ghetto Biggie. Pretty clean restart all the way through. So now the treacherous turn 1, 2, 3 complex, and Tar Heels has spun on the cold tires and retired from the session there. It looks like front left suspension is smashed on that car. Right now, just a local yellow in that one mini sector there. So, yeah, and it has cleared, and we will stay green. So that will be our 6th retirement of the race here. This track chewing up cars here today. And see Baba Yaga going by Space Cowboy here for P6. Keeping an eye on the battles up at the front. See yellow flag. I believe Mr. Hex may have had a little bit of an incident there. Drops back a couple of seconds, but is still going. Back to full course screen now. And Markey has retired from the session, coming out onto the main straight, and we have our 3rd safety car up the race. Rusty, Mr. Hex, and Nico. So now this is going to be interesting for Rusty. I believe he had just entered the pits to serve his drive-through penalty. Yes, he did. So that will save Rusty's race here. Instead of losing the 25 seconds or so to the pack, we'll be able to maintain that P9 on fresh hard tires. So very lucky there for Rusty that he got across the pit entry line before the safety car was issued. So back at the front, Raleigh at the lead, Ghetto Biggie P2, Cheeseheads in P3. We may see some drivers now. The field's not really spread out, so there's not a lot of advantage to pitting here under safety car, except that it, puts you right at the back. It puts you right at the back of the line with the pack, rather than losing time under green later. But unlike the last safety car, where Ghetto was able to pit and maintain, only lost one spot, you would lose, 10 spots here to make a stop. But we'll see. Roman numeral, Space Cowboy, both opting to pit here. For the cars that had to stop earlier and come off of their hard tires, this will give them an opportunity to put them back on. And we're seeing drivers, some of the drivers too. So Roman and Space Cowboy both go onto the fresh hard tires here. Mr. Hex on the fresh hards. So those cars will be set for the race. Raleigh, 14 lap old mediums, is going to have to stop here at some point. Ghetto Biggie Cheeseheads behind their 3-4 lap old hards. They are good for the race. Then Baba Yaga, 3 lap old mediums here, really close to being able to make it to the end there. Really consistent driver, known for being good on the tires, may be able to stretch those and potentially pick up a podium here. We'll have to see how that plays out. Sparkplug and Archie a little further back. Sparkplug's really close. Archie, I would expect both those cars to pit again. Nico back in P11, 3 lap old mediums, also probably going to have to stop again at some point. Are going to have at least one more lap here under safety car. Here we watch here the cars. And so for Ryan there in the chat for the track list, we typically run the official schedule. Formula One schedule, obviously this year was track changes and such, and they weren't able to get some of the tracks in the game. We subbed in China and Australia for a couple of the tracks that are not yet in the game. I'll get you a link here. So at Spain this weekend, we will be at Monaco next week, I believe. As we come around here, we will be going racing back this time by, and they are off again. Big jump from the front three. Raleigh, Ghetto Biggie, and Cheeseheads getting about 1.2 seconds over Baba Yaga there down the main straight. So nice jump from the front three. So we see all the cars now heading through turn 1, 2, and 3. Everybody's through clean this time. this first part of the lap really hard on cold tires. It's so hard to warm those hard tires up under safety car. Just can't get enough heat into them. Typically we'll see these the drivers, the hard tire cars will struggle for a lap or two until they get heat into the tires, and then those tires will turn on. It's like, while the safety car can help, if you're on hard tires, once you get them up to racing temperature, you do not want to see the safety car come out. So most of the field tied up. Not sure what happened to Shep back here. He's in P11, about 2 seconds back. Don't see any damage. And does keep going without any issues, so it doesn't go into the pits. So the front five all staying within about a half second of one another. And this Roman numerals around in turn 2 there. Able to keep going though. We stay green here. We're on lap 18 of 33. So still quite a long ways to go here. Looking around 14 and a half, 15 laps here to go. The front five now have pulled about a 2-second gap back to the second pack. It's Raleigh, Ghetto, Cheeseheads, Baba Yaga, and Archie Gill. Still all here, staying pretty much nose to tail. They'll all just slot in, try to stay. DRS now is enabled, so all able to maintain DRS range on the cars ahead. Ghetto Biggie within 3/10, not able to get any closer. Heading down into turn 1. So here you see Rusty closing in, about a second back now from Sparkplug. Has Mr. Hex right on the gearbox. The last safety car kind of saving Rusty's race there. Had a drive-through penalty as he crossed the pit line into pit lane. The safety car came out, so he was able to serve that drive-through penalty without losing track position. And looks like Nico John may have disconnected. You can see Rusty with a little bit of an incident here, about 3 seconds back now. So looking, Raleigh got a biggie now. Will have DRS now this time. Closes 2-3 there before the start finish line. Raleigh's going to move to the inside, try to force Biggie around the outside. On board behind him here, put both of them pushing hard, and Cheeseheads loses it in turn 3. Is able to get the car spun around though, doesn't do a lot of damage, and is able to keep going. And Ghetto Biggie completes the pass though up the hill into turn 4. And goes back into P1 there on the hard tires. I think now we're seeing, Raleigh 19 lap old mediums. Those tires are starting to drop off. Is going to have to stop here at some point. Here's we're on lap 20. Oh, and Ghetto Biggie spins. Spinning from the lead on the hard tires there. No damage visible on the car. Slots back in at P4. So that lets Raleigh go back to the lead, but still yet to pit there. 19 stop after stopping in lap 1 will have to stop here at some point. And that moves Baba Yaga into P2, Archie into P3. Ghetto only losing about 3.5 seconds total there, so nice recovery and able to keep the car going in the right direction. Definitely shown has the pace to catch back up. Definitely looking to compete for a podium here, as at least 2 of the cars ahead, or 1 car will have to pit and another car will most likely be pitting. Okay, and Nico is back in the session with us. Super tight. Oh, Baba Yaga runs off there. Looks like may have been a little bit of contact. As we've lost our timing intervals here for the moment. We'll wait on that to straighten out, but looks like Joe does get back into P5. Don't see any damage on the wings. It's really hard to tell from these views, though, if the rear wing or side pods have damage on the car. We see Sparkplug making a stop in the Aston Martin. Going on to medium tires, so we'll be good to the end of the race there. As Archie moves into the lead with Raleigh in P2. Moves Ghetto Biggie back into P3. As the front 3 still run nose to tail, they've got about a second back to Mr. Hex. Baba Yaga in P5. And then looking back, Nico, Rusty, Cheeseheads, Roman, and Sparkplug have all spread out a little bit. So we're going to stay on board here with the battle at the front. As we see Archie, who the blinking red light showing low on ERS. Mr. Hex as well. And Ryan, I've dropped you a link there in the chat to Racing Hub. If you scroll down on that, you can see our full calendar towards the bottom of that page. So Archie now pulling out a little bit here, has pulled out of DRS range of Ghetto Biggie in P2, Mr. Hex in P3. And Nico John, after the incidents early, has now recovered to P5. As we see Raleigh in P6 still going on those medium tires, and Baba Yaga goes around, and it looks like Raleigh trying to get in the pits behind. Those two tangle up there. And Raleigh 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane. Not sure what happened there. Looks like Joe may have had an incident and was slow on the pit entry as Raleigh was diving in to make the green flag stop. Both those cars going onto the soft tires here for the run to the end of the race. They will be in P8 and P9 respectively coming out of the pits. So at the front, Archie, Ghetto Biggie, and Mr. Hex still 1, 2, and 3, all within DRS range of each other. believe that Rusty may have had an incident. Has spun down there. See a McLaren coming by there. Roman going by. But both cars able to go, and a full course safety car comes out for Roman's spin there. Roman and Rusty, I believe. I know Rusty was around. Not sure Roman was just passing by or was getting back on the track from the other side. But this, oh, and Mr. Hex is retired. See if we can see the car here off to the left. Cheeseheads picked up 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Trying to see if we can see what happened to Mr. Hex here. That car sitting. And Raleigh speeding under the safety car will be issued a drive-through penalty. So after working the way into P5, not what he wanted to see. Now we'll be looking at having to make the stop after we go back green flag racing. And word from pit road is that Mr. Hex hit the pit wall there. Yeah, that's what it looked like. I may have spin off and then hit the inside wall to have it parked where the car was. So now everybody, most cars opting to stop here at the front. Archie goes on to fresh mediums. And looking back, Ghetto Biggie and Nico John will be in P2 and P3 on fresh soft tires. Either fresh softs or slightly used softs, maybe a scrub set from qualifying, 4 or 5%. Maybe wear on them, new for all intents and purposes. Even though the game will call them used. And Rusty now, after not to start the race he would have wanted, but just persevere, keep the head down, and stay consistent. Now is in P4, only on 15 lap hold hard, so getting the track position. As we see now, Cheeseheads making the stop here, probably going to scrub off that 5-second penalty, and we'll put on another set of tires here. Staying on the fresh, so he serves his penalty off there and gets another fresh set of soft tires for the run to the end. It's a wise move. That way any spots he's able to make up on track, he'll be able to keep. Being so close to the end of the race, it's hard to pull out a 5-second gap to cover the speeding penalty. Raleigh with a drive-through. I think we'll probably see him stop the very first lap, and then hope for another safety car. And it looks like everybody's all caught up here, and the safety car is coming in this lap. So we're going to have 7 to go this time by. Going to be a dash to the finish here. Most cars on fresh soft tires. Archie at the front on fresh mediums. And then Rusty and Space Cowboy P4 and P6 on older hard tires. But those tires should have plenty of life left in them. Here we're on board with Nico John in P3 as we get back racing here. Good jump from Archie. Getting that jump right out of the last turn, trapping the cars behind, still in the turn where they can't put as much throttle down. And front three all got about a 2-second jump on Rusty on the hard tires there. So big difference in traction on the restart. You'll see Raleigh makes it by Rusty here. But is pending a drive-through penalty. See Space Cowboy, dropping back there. Really hard. The fresh soft tires will be able to power by for the moment until they start wearing down. So the front three all sticking within a second of each other. Looks like we have a yellow flag. I believe that is spark plug. And the Aston Martin who spun, yes it is. So he's able to keep going. No visible damage there. As we see Archie on those fresh mediums, a 1:18.6, setting the new fastest lap of the race. And Space Cowboy has gone around here and has lost the front wing. We see Raleigh now in is serving the drive-through penalty. And we have another safety car now for the incident with Shep. So Shep will come in for a new wing there and a fresh set of tires. That'll give him an opportunity to get on either fresh or slightly used soft tires. And I think, though, more importantly, we'll let both Shep and Raleigh catch the back of the field here. So much like Rusty earlier, Raleigh able to serve his drive-through penalty, I believe. Let's see. Yes, I believe he's got 5 seconds for speeding in the pits, but was able to serve the drive-through penalty. So we'll be able to stay with the pack here. So it doesn't look like anybody's going to pit, so this will hopefully be a short safety car. As they got Shep coming through Sector 2 now once he catches the back of the pack. So we're still seeing the leaders come around. The leaders haven't caught the safety car yet. I don't think we'll be. I don't think we'll be lucky enough that we'll see the safety car just do 2 sectors and come in. I think we'll get at least one full lap of safety car, which would put us with around 3 to go when we go back green. And for the soft tire runners, though, this is a huge benefit as it keeps them in the prime operating window for longer. They'll be able to go to the end of the race now pretty much wide open without any tire drop off. So gives them just a little bit of an advantage maybe over Archie. So Archie will have to focus here in this safety car period, keeping those tires good and warm. There's only 3 laps on them, so there's no worry about burning the tires out at this stage. He'll want those tires nice and hot for the restart, because he'll need to get as much of a gap as he can to try and battle the cars off. So currently we have 8 cars out of the race. Mr. Hex, Marky, Tar Heels, Superman, Luke Robertson, E-Waiter, TSD, and Vapor. Through incidents throughout the race. So we're left with 10 running. Looking through here, still under safety car. Archie Gill is the leader on medium tires. Ghetto Biggie and Nico John, P2 and P3. On the softs, Rusty on the hard tires in P4. 19-lap-old hard is going to be struggling here. Oh, and we have a spin. I believe Nico has spun and has wing damage. Not sure what happened there. So with the end plate missing, that will bring Nico into the pits for a fresh wing. As at this circuit, that would be almost undrivable. I don't believe there was contact, as any contact typically results in a penalty being issued. Kind of surprised we haven't seen Raleigh come in for fresh set of tires and to serve the penalty. And Space Cowboy retired in, looks like, out of turn 3. Safety car is in this lap, and I believe Archie may have disconnected from the session. Bear with me one moment here, we'll see. So we're back here with the as Archie with the his AI has pitted from P1. The AI pits to go, probably following whatever the strategy set before the race was. So Ghetto Biggie inherits the lead there. We had a car go around back to back. I believe it's Roman and Sparkplug. Round in one, turns 1 and 2. Baba Yaga drops back just a little bit. So Ghetto Biggie in P1, and Cheesehead's fighting Rusty here for P2. With Rusty on those old hard tires, fighting hard here. Good overhead shot, and they make contact, and Rusty goes around here. And that takes Rusty out of the race. Hard fighting there for position. So now we have Ghetto Biggie in P1, Cheeseheads in P2. Raleigh is up to P3 now. Is still holding on, has a 5-second speeding penalty that will be applied at the end. And Baba Yaga in P4, Sparkplug in 5th, Roman Numerals in 6th, Nico John in 7th, and Archie Gill has retired from the race as well in the other Alpha. Looked to be in strong contention for the win. We'll try to catch up there and see what happened. I believe Archie disconnected. The AI pitted for old tires. Not sure what caused the retirement. And so now we are down to 7 cars. And about a lap and a half to go. Ghetto Biggie in P1, Cheeseheads in 2nd. 4 seconds back now. Raleigh in P3. Going to need to pull a gap though. Sitting on a 5-second penalty. Baba Yaga right behind on the gearbox. All he has to do now is just follow Raleigh around to pick up a podium. As Sparkplug is about 5 seconds back. Roman another 7 back, and then Nico John is 9 seconds back after having to make the additional pit stop after the incident under the safety car. So DRS enabled here. Drivers won't really get an opportunity to use it. As we see now, Raleigh gets the move done on Cheeseheads. Cheeseheads taking a look for the switchback and settles in. So now Raleigh going to have to push as hard as he can. There, Nico John picking up fastest lap, a 118 flat on those fresh soft tires. Yeah, so still 5 seconds for Raleigh here in P2, but currently both cars, 2 cars on the gearbox, will take him off the podium as it stands right now. Ghetto Vicky in P1 has pulled out 5.5 seconds here. Looks in for the win here. We're going to keep an eye on Cheeseheads and Baba Yaga. Yaga having a look and tucks back in line. Not going to risk it. Just going to stay in there, and we'll be able to collect the podium here as we see coming around now into the final turn. Ghetto B keeps it nice and clean and will pick up the win. Raleigh in the AlphaTauri going to pick up P2 here, but will drop behind Cheeseheads and Baba Yaga, who will come across now in P2, P3. Crossing third and fourth, moves into P2 and P3. Sparkplug will come across in P5. Roman numerals in P6, and Nico John will wrap it out in P7 there. So that was one heck of a race. A lot of back and forth, a lot of safety cars. Baba Yaga picking up driver of the day there after not setting a time in qualifying. Puts it on the podium in P3 in the Red Bull there. Great race. Raleigh starting at the back from P16, picking up a 4th. Great finish as well. And Cheeseheads in the Haas with the podium as well there, picking up P2. So excellent race. Glad everybody was with us this weekend here as we look through the running order. Ghetto Biggie, Cheeseheads, and Baba Yaga on the podium. Raleigh in the AlphaTauri slots into P4. Sparkplug in 5th. Roman numerals in 6th. And Nico John in 7th. Archie Gill, Rusty Space Cowboy rounding out the top 10. And then Mr. Hex, Markey, Tar Heels, Superman, Luke Robertson, E-Waiter, TSD, and Vapor all retiring from the race. So this has been Performance Racing League Round 3 for Tier 2 here in Spain. We look forward to seeing everyone next weekend in Monaco. Everyone have a wonderful day.